Putting it together. Detailed taxi instructions. Describe the layout of this aerodrome. In what ways is it particular? What special precautions do you think are required? What are the differences between RWY 20 left and 20 right? Where is the terminal building? Possible interpretation contextualized to ICAO standards. The aerodrome requires detailed taxi instructions, indicating complex taxiway routing, multiple intersections, or potential hotspots as per ICAO Doc 4444, Guidance on Ground Movement Safety. The layout is particular, possibly due to unusual runway or taxiway configuration. For example, intersecting or closely spaced parallel runways, proximity of terminal to active runways, mixed-use operations or runway crossings. Precautions likely required. Strict adherence to taxi instructions, as described in Annex 10, Volume 2, Standard Phraseology for Ground Movements. Awareness of runway incursions, hotspots, or non-standard signage or lighting. Confirmation readbacks and situational awareness are critical. Runway 20 left versus runway 20 right. Runway 20 left and 20 right are parallel runways. Differences may include length or width, surface type or strength. Approach equipment, such as instrument landing system availability. Runway usage, for example, one for arrivals, the other for departures. Terminal building. Its location in relation to runways is important for taxiing. Could be situated between the runways as a midfield terminal, requiring crossing a runway. To one side, affecting taxi time and routing. Aerodrome layout description. The aerodrome is located on a coastal strip, possibly reclaimed land or an artificial peninsula, with water surrounding most of the area. It has two parallel runways, designated runway 20 left, 02 right, and runway 20 right, 02 left, aligned in the 200 and 020 direction. The terminal building is clearly visible on the right side of the image, adjacent to the apron with several parked aircraft. There is a taxiway system connecting the runways to the terminal, parking stands, and other airport facilities. Helicopters and general aviation aircraft appear to be parked in a dedicated area separate from the main apron. In what ways is it particular? Water-bound layout. The aerodrome is almost completely surrounded by water, making it particularly challenging during takeoffs, landings, and missed approaches. Short runways. The length of both runways appears to be limited, which requires precise performance calculations, especially for heavier aircraft. Limited overrun area. There is little space beyond the runway thresholds, increasing the risk factor during rejected takeoffs or landing overruns. Proximity to terrain. A mountainous area can be seen in the background, suggesting that terrain awareness and obstacle clearance may be critical during certain approach or departure paths. Special precautions required. Wind and weather monitoring is essential due to the exposed coastal location. Runway excursions must be strictly prevented due to the surrounding water. Braking action and runway conditions must be well monitored. Visual guidance systems and precise air traffic control instructions are necessary for safe ground operations given the compact layout. Strict compliance with noise abatement and departure procedures might be required due to proximity to populated or environmentally sensitive areas. Differences between runway 20 left and 20 right. Runway 20 left, located closer to the terminal building, likely used for lighter aircraft or possibly for departures only, depending on local procedures. Runway 20 right, located on the outer side, closer to the water, may serve as the primary landing runway due to better obstacle clearance or wind alignment. These designations help to separate arrival and departure traffic, improve runway capacity, or manage different aircraft performance categories. Location of the terminal building. The terminal is located on the eastern side, right in the image, connected directly to the main apron with multiple aircraft parked and boarding bridges visible. Access to both runways is provided via taxiways leading westward. Preparation. Listen to 10 words and complete the endings. 1. Safe. 2. Complete. 3. Fail. 4. Strong. 5. Miss. 6. Spill. 7. Slight. 8. Difference. 9. Crack. 10. Correct. Completed words. 1. Safely. 2. Completed. 3. Failed. 4. Stronger. 5. Missing. 6. Spilled. 7. Slightly. 8. Differences. 9. Cracked. 10. Correctly. Definitions and examples. Safely, adverb, in a safe manner, without danger or risk. Example: the aircraft landed safely despite the strong crosswind. Completed, past participle or verb, finished or brought to an end. Example: the pilot completed the checklist before takeoff. Failed, past tense or verb, did not succeed or stopped functioning. Example: the engine failed shortly after departure. Stronger, comparative adjective, having more strength or power. Example: the stronger wind from the west affected the approach. Missing, adjective or participle, absent, not found, or lost. Example: the part was missing from the inspection panel. Spilled, past tense or verb, caused a liquid or substance to fall or leak. Example: fuel spilled during the refueling process. Slightly, adverb, to a small degree or extent. Example: the aircraft deviated slightly off course. Differences, noun, plural, variations or distinctions between things. Example: there are significant differences between the two runways. Cracked, past tense or adjective, broken with a line or lines, but not separated. Example: the windshield was cracked by a bird strike. Correctly, adverb, in an accurate or proper way. Example: the co-pilot entered the coordinates correctly. Listen again and practice saying the words aloud. Unexpected on final. It was a calm afternoon as Flight 237 prepared for approach. The weather was clear, and all checklists had been completed. The aircraft was vectored onto the instrument landing system for runway 20 left, while another inbound was assigned runway 20 right due to differences in aircraft category and speed. As the crew descended through 3,000 feet, the captain noticed that the hydraulic pressure was slightly lower than expected. A quick check confirmed that fluid had spilled from one of the main systems. The cabin crew reported that everything remained secure and passengers were calm. However, the nose wheel steering system failed, meaning they would be unable to vacate the runway under their own power. They briefed for a straight-in landing and coordinated with ground for a tow after touchdown. Despite the technical failure, the approach was flown safely, with full manual handling. Upon landing, a cracked wheel rim was discovered, likely the source of the hydraulic leak. Back at the terminal, maintenance confirmed that a sensor had gone missing during routine servicing, which led to the unnoticed fault. Fortunately, the crew's quick thinking and coordination made the situation manageable. The captain later remarked, "This kind of incident reminds you, good judgment, communication, and training always make us stronger as a team." Airport layout or infrastructure has affected situational awareness, distracting or confusing flight crews. A common example involves airports where a single taxiway serves multiple runway thresholds. Less than optimal geometries also increase the risk of the flight crew unintentionally taxiing onto the wrong runway, possibly one too short for takeoff. Source: Michelle Trimo, Erasing Confusion. Flight Safety Foundation, Aero Safety World, May 2010. ECAIO focus. In non-routine, unusual, or abnormal situations, there will be a need for plain language to clarify, paraphrase, or provide additional information. For example, to describe a system failure, a passenger's state of health, or an obstacle on the runway. Source: ECAIO Circular 323, Guidelines for Aviation English Training Programs. What examples of non-routine, unusual, or abnormal situations can you give? Describing a system failure, such as hydraulic failure. A passenger's state of health, such as unconscious or having a seizure. An obstacle on the runway, such as a vehicle or animal. A rejected takeoff or go-around. Smoke or fumes in the cockpit or cabin. What system failures might a controller experience? Radar failure or loss of surveillance data. Communication failure, such as VHF radio outage. Flight data processing system failure. Lighting system outage for tower controllers at night. Power failure affecting air traffic control facilities. What system failures might the flight crew experience during turnaround? Auxiliary power unit failure affecting electrical and air systems. Ground power unit disconnection or malfunction. Hydraulic system issues, possibly due to leakage. Brake or steering system alerts while setting up for taxi. Fuel system problems such as imbalance or leakage. What health problems could you encounter? Passenger heart attack or stroke. unconsciousness or fainting, seizures or convulsions, respiratory distress or difficulty breathing, suspected contagious illness on board. What sort of obstacles can you find on the runway? Vehicles, for example, inspection or maintenance vehicles not cleared off. Wildlife, especially birds or large mammals. Foreign object debris, like tools or parts. Aircraft occupying the wrong position. Construction equipment during runway work. Answer the questions. Where does a single taxiway serve multiple runway thresholds on this airport? Taxiways Charlie and Quebec both serve multiple runway thresholds. What increases the risk factor in this example? The proximity of holding points is a major concern. The hold short lines for runways 3-4 center and 3-4 right are only 189 feet or 58 meters apart, as indicated on the chart. This area is marked as a runway incursion hotspot, a known location where confusion or error is more likely to lead to an incident. This means that misidentification of runway entry points can happen easily. Situational awareness must be extremely high during lineup and departure. Controllers must give clear and unambiguous instructions, and pilots must read back correctly. What other things might make operations difficult from this airport? Several infrastructure and procedural factors at airport can increase complexity and risk. Numerous transversal taxiways. A dense network of intersecting taxiways, such as Quebec, Papa, Charlie, and November, increases potential for routing confusion and missed instructions, especially under time pressure. 3 parallel runways, runways 1-6 left, 1-6 center, and 1-6 right, or 3-4 left, 3-4 center, 3-4 right, are closely spaced and may be easily confused, particularly in poor visibility or high workload conditions. Taxiway Tango. Very wide and parallel to runways, Taxiway Tango has been mistaken for a runway in the past, prompting the airport to display visual warnings. Do not mistake Taxiway Tango for landing surface. Taxiway Alpha. Wingspan restriction. Marked as restricted to aircraft with wingspans under 6-9 meters due to proximity to buildings and obstacles, posing a hazard if incorrect taxi instructions are followed. Frequency change at non-movement area. Aircraft must switch from ground control to ramp control when crossing the non-movement boundary on taxiway whiskey. Failure to do so can cause coordination errors, especially during peak traffic. Glide slope fluctuations. Runway 16 left. Noted irregularities in instrument landing system glide slope signal for runway 16 left can affect approach stability, particularly in instrument meteorological conditions, requiring extra attention during final approach.